तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम आप्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक् प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्म उपनिषदं मां ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्त्वनिराकरणं मे अस्तु। तदात्मनि निरते यौपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ओमित्येतदक्षरमुद्गीतमुपासीत ओमिति ह्युद्गायते तस्योपव्याख्यानम्। Page 397, passage number 3. Samitpanihi punareyaya tamha prajapatiruvacha maghvan yashantradayah pravrajihi किमिच्छन् पुनरागमयति सहोवाच तद्यद्यपि इदं भगवच्छरीरम् अनन्दं भवति अनन्दस्य भवति यदि श्रामम् अश्रामः नैव एषः अस्य दोषेण दुष्यति नवधेन अस्य हन्यते नास्य श्राम्येण श्रामः घ्नत्यत्वेवैनं विच्छादयन्तीव अप्रियवेत्ता एव भवति अविरोधितीव नाहमत्र भोग्यं पश्यामीति एवमेष मघवन्निति होवाच एतं त्वेते भूयो न व्याख्यास्यामि वस अपराणि 32 वर्षाणि ते सः अपराणि द्वात्रिंशतं वर्षाणि उवास तस्मै होवाच. So first of all, a discussion was carried out because Indra is expression Ghrantitvevainam, Ghrantitvevainam,Ghranti eva. That this dream self, somebody kills him. Indeed, the evakara has been used there. So Vashyakara said, Eva Shabda, Eva Arthe, the Evakara should be explained as Eva as though somebody kills him. Natu Granti Eva iti. Not that indeed somebody kills him in reality, as though. Meaning that in the dream there is a notion that someone kills and not that the real killing takes place. Uttareshu Sarveshu Iva Shabda Darshanat, because in other subsequently Vichadayantiva Priyavetta Apriyavetta Iva Bhavati Roditi Iva. On the Apriyavetta, so everywhere that Iva what has been used as though, so that is the reason that here also Granthi Iva. So when this Bhashyakara suggests this change that Evakara should be understood as Ivakara, then the question was Nasyavadena hanyate iti visheshanad granditva vedichet. So but Indra said that Nasyavadena hanti hanyate. The dream self is not killed by the death of this body. Okay? But then, he doesn't say it doesn't get killed. Indra said, the dream self does not get killed by this body being killed. The dream self does not die by the death of this body. He did not say the dream self does not die. He qualified, the dream self does not die with the death of this body. So thereby in a way implying that in some other way, for some other reason he can die. Only one thing is denied, that the death of this body does not cause the death of the dream self. But something else can cause, that is not denied by Indra. So Indra has not said that the dream self is not killed by the death of his body. Therefore, Visheshanat. What is Visheshanam? Qualification, restriction. The Indra has only qualified or specifically said that the dream self does not die because of death of his body. That means that he leaves open the possibility that the dream self can die or can be killed by some other means. So then the question is, Granti Tveva, why not? He definitely dies, he can be killed. Not by the death of his body, but in some other way. Naivam Bhashyakara says, no, that cannot be. Why not? Prajapatim pramane kurvatah anudavaditva apadan anupatte. If Indra says that the dream self does get killed, then that self cannot be amritam, immortal. Cannot be abhayam, cannot be fearless. So, even though Prajapati said, is amritam, so ye esha swapne mahimanascharati esha atmeti hovacha is amritam abhayam edad brahma iti. Prajapati has very clearly said that one who charati moves about or experiences mahiyamana. So one who experiences, one is being adored in the dream. And therefore one who experiences variety of pleasures and dream. Ish Atmeti Hovacha, this one is Atma. Is Amritam, Abhayam, this is immortal, this is fearless, this is Brahma. Meaning that about the dream self, Prajapati has clearly said that it is immortal. And therefore, if Indra having heard this, and then Indra continues to feel that no, dream self is killed. That means that he does not accept the words of Prajapati on their face value. He continues to entertain the opinion that the dream self does get killed. That means that he declines or disagrees with what Prajapati said. But Prajapati said, even the dream self also is immortal. So Indra, who has heard these words of Prajapati, could not possibly then believe that the dream self does get killed. He cannot. Because then he would differ in his opinion from Prajapati, which means that he does not accept words of Prajapati on the face value, which means he does not accept Prajapati as pramanam or as a valid means of knowledge. So, alright, if he does not, then it's okay. Indra may think that Prajapati doesn't know what he's talking about. It's possible. But then he cannot go back to Prajapati seeking knowledge. That's the thing. And so, Sasamit Pani Punah Eyaya. He, with faggots in his hand, again came back to Prajapati. Meaning that, I am your disciple, please teach me. Now when he goes back to Prajapati, he has trust in Prajapati that Prajapati will give me knowledge. That he knows what he is talking about. So returning to Prajapati and submitting himself at the feet of Prajapati reveals that Indra has trust in Prajapati's words, in his knowledge and his words. So Indra had the trust in the words of Prajapati that this dream self is immortal. So he could not have negated Prajapati, falsified Prajapati in his own mind. However, Indra could not have said that this dream self does get killed. Could not have said. Could not have thought. Meaning that the words of Indra should be interpreted on the basis of the state of mind of Indra. So here we are trying to determine what is the tatparya, the purport of the words of Indra. What exactly he means, where is it coming from? So one possible interpretation is the Indra may really think that the dream self gets killed, as he thought that the Chhayatma, the reflection self gets killed. He meant in the primary sense because that is seen. Therefore, maybe he thinks that dream self also gets killed. But no, because when Prajapati said, Ed Amritam, he did not say that about the Chhayatma, he said about the Turiyatma. But here, so therefore, here Indra could not have then disbelieved Prajapati. Ed Amritam iti etat Prajapati vachanam katham sakuryad Indraha tam pramane kurvan. The fact that Indra returns to Prajapati means he looks upon Indra as pramanam, and then to believe that what Prajapati said is wrong and still to go back to him is a contradiction. The fact that he goes to Prajapati means that he accepts that what Prajapati said is right, and therefore his words should not be interpreted to mean that Indra believes that the dream self gets killed. Then page 398 and the question. Nano Chha Purushe Prajapitana Ukte Asya Shreyam Nasham Anu Esha Nashyati Dosham Abhyadat. But then, in the earlier case also, when Prajapati said, Ya Esha Akshini Purusha, the Purusha, the self which is in the eyes, Ish Atmeti Hovacha, he is the Atma. Idamritam abhayam etad brahma. Meaning that Prajapati said the same thing about in the earlier case also. And still Indra believed that the self, which Indra interpreted that as a reflection. And Indra came to conclusion that the Chayatma does get killed. It also disappears by the disappearance of his body. So, even though Indra returned and looks upon Prajapati's Pramanam, still he can differ because his experience is that the Chayatma does disappear. So, similarly also Indra can differ. That doesn't mean does not accept Prajapati as teacher, as it happened in earlier case. Meaning that the earlier case is presented as a drishtanta for interpreting this words of Indra. Basically, naivam, that cannot be. Meaning that, no, Indra did not contradict Prajapati even in the earlier case also. Even in the earlier case, when Indra understood Chaya as the Atma, then also he did not contradict Prajapati. Yesha akshini purusha dushyate na Chayatma Prajapatanokta iti manyate Bhagavan. So first of all he thought that Bhagavan, Prajapati said Chaya is the Atma. With that understanding, he found all kinds of defects in that Atma, that he, becomes blind and he starts his running nose and he gets killed and stuff like that at the killing of this body. Then he said, Nahamatra bhogyam pashyami, I do not see any benefit in this. Which means that Indra came to conclusion that his understanding of what Prajapati told him was not right. Because he found that the self was mortal, whereas Prajapati had said self is immortal. That means that Indra understood that what he understands is not what Prajapati has said. That I understand something else as Atma as compared to what Prajapati said. And therefore, Chayatma Prajapatanokta iti na manyate Bhagavan. When Indra then came back to the Prajapati, he knew that he was not right. So he knew that Prajapati did not mean Chayatma, because Chayatma is mortal, Prajapati said Atma is immortal, so Prajapati could not have meant Chayatma. What he meant that Indra did not understand. But this much he understood that Prajapati could not have meant Chayatma. Katham apahata papmadi lakshane prushte ye Chayatma Prajapatanokta iti manyate tada katham Prajapatim pramani krutya punashravanaya samitpani gacche. Because Prajapati also had said apahata papma vijaraha vimrityuhu, that Chayatma does not satisfy those qualifications. So Indra said, Ahamatra bhogyam pashyami, meaning what? I do not see benefit in this means what? I do not see benefit in what I understand as Atma. I do not see the benefit in the knowledge of Atma as I understand, because that knowledge will not lead me to the attainment of all the worlds. And so Indra came to the conclusion that Prajapati is not told about Chayatma, he is told about some other Atma. So now Indra is very clear that Prajapati is not said Chayatma. He found dosha with Chayatma, not with what Prajapati said. Indra found dosha or the defect in his understanding of Chayatma. He realized that that's not what Prajapati said, and therefore he is not found fault with what Prajapati said. Meaning that when Indra said that this Chayatma gets killed by the death of the body, he did not in his own mind contradict what Prajapati said. Meaning those words of Indra do not prove Prajapati to be wrong in his opinion. तथा च व्याख्यातम then tasma na chayatma prajapatena uktati manyate Indra. Therefore, Indra, from his behavior, that he returned to Prajapati with faggots in his hand, means that he accepts that what Prajapati says is right, that Atma is immortal and Chaya Atma is not immortal. Therefore, Prajapati did not mean Chaya Atma when he used the word Atma. Then what did Prajapati mean? Tatha vyakhyadam drashta akshini dushyadeti. So, at least, what did Prajapati mean was the witness. The drashta or the witness in the eyes, the witnessing self, the consciousness is what was meant by Prajapati. This is how we explained earlier. In here, the other Tikakara had found another objection. In the line 26, which we already discussed yesterday, we'll just go through it now. Nanu yatha prathama paryaye chhatmana anya prajapatena uktah. So then, Indra came to conclusion that Prajapati has not spoken about Chayatma, Prajapati has spoken about an Atma other than Chayatma. So Indra thought that I understood Chaya as the Atma, but he understood that Prajapati said that Atma is someone different from Chayatma. And therefore, the fault that Indra found with Chayatma is not the fault with Prajapati. Right? Because Indra is clear that Prajapati did not mean Chayatma. Alright? Now Indra finds fault with Swapnatma. So why not in this case also it can be similar to that? The Indra believes that Prajapati has said Atma as different from Swapnatma. And I find fault with Swapnatma, not with what Prajapati says. In that case, this Swapnatma also can be killed. Even if Indra believes that Swapnatma gets killed, he is still not contradicting Prajapati because he believes that Prajapati has not said Swapnatma, he said some other Atma. As earlier, Prajapati did not say Chayatma, Indra said, thought it was some other Atma. So why not this time also? Indra believes that Prajapati said an Atma different from Swapnatma. Therefore, Indra believing that Swapnatma gets killed is not contradicting Prajapati. Why not this way? So yatha prasama paryaye chhatma anya prajapatena uktah tasya indrena api amrita abhayatvadi vachana nishchitam. That chhatma karan amritam abhayam, so it is not what Prajapati has said. Idi prasamam svagruhite chhatmane vyanashvita uktopi na prajapate mrushavaditvam. Therefore, when Indra found fault with Chayatma, it is not finding fault with what Prajapati said. Therefore, he is not falsifying Prajapati in believing that Chayatma gets killed. Even, similarly here also, Swapna Purushad Anyasyeva Mahimayatvena Gruhite. Swapna Purushe Hanan Abhidanasya Mukhyatvevi Na Prajapate Mrishavaditvam. So here also Indra can think that Prajapati has said someone different from Swapnatma. See, in the words of Prajapati, Esha Akshini Purusha, the one that is seen in the eye, the words are Chaya is the Atma. If you literally take those words, so Prajapati said Chaya is the Atma, but it did not mean that. So here also Prajapati says, yes, Swapne Mahimana, one that enjoys in the dream, he says, but he means something else, as in the earlier case. So Indra finds fault with, just as Indra found fault with Chayatma, which was not fault with Prajapati, similarly, Indra can find fault with Swapnatma, which in his opinion is not the fault of Prajapati. Why can it not be like that? No, that cannot be so, because this case is different from the earlier case. Here, Anyasya Prajapatina Anabhidhanat. Here Prajapati means Swapnatma when he says Swapnatma. There when he said the self seen in the eye, he did not mean that literally, but here when he says Swapne Mahimana Charati, he means Swapnatma. Meaning Prajapati is not said in Atma other than Swapnatma here. Why? Etam tevadeti swapna drashtueva sushupta anukarshanat. Because subsequently, when Prajapati will talk about swapna, the sushupta atma, then he is going to say, Etam tevade iti, hey Indra, I am going to talk to you about the same self that I talked earlier, that I talked about the dream self earlier. I'm going to talk about the same self. So dream self alone is being talked about subsequently as sleep self. So Prajapati meant only dream self and not anything else, because same self is continued. Indrasyapi purvavakyena eva edam tvevadeti swapna drashtu jagad drashtu avedam shrutavata anyokti nischaya anupattehe. In Indra also, earlier case also, Prajapati said to Indra, when he came back after Chayatma, then Prajapati, I am going to talk about the same Atma, and talked about Swapnatma. So in Purvavakyena, evam iti swapna drashtu jagradrashtu avedam shrutavataha. The Swapnatma is the same as the Atma that was told earlier by Prajapati. Because Etam, I am going to talk about the same Atma. So this time also Prajapati is talking about the same Atma, not a different Atma. And so it is anyokti nischaya anupattehe. Therefore, Prajapati said about a different Atma, there is no ground for Indra to think that Prajapati has talked about a different Atma. Tasyeva jagradrashtu Avedat, because only Swapna Atma is the same as Jagrada Atma and not some other Atma. If Prajapati talked about some other Atma, then he would not be the same as Jagrada Atma. But Prajapati said that I am going to talk about the same Atma which Indra has understood, and therefore Indra understands that Prajapati spoke about the same Atma that he told in the earlier case. So this time there is no possibility. The Indra thinks that Atma that I understood is different from what Prajapati has said. Ataha amruta avayatve nokte tasmin paramartha hanan abhidanam vaktuhu apramanyapadakameva. Therefore, that Atma is amrutam, avayam, Brahma. Idukte, which Prajapati said specifically. Tasmin Paramartha Ananabhidanam. And still Indra believes that this Swapnatma gets killed in a primary sense, meaning that Swapnatma is mortal, even though Prajapati said is immortal. Vaktuhu apramanyapadakameva. That conclusion on the part of Indra that Swapnatma does get killed would be definitely falsifying, contradicting what Prajapati said, and they were falsifying Prajapati. Not considering Prajapati as Pramana. That's what we do, you know. So the Guru said, but this is okay, you know. So we selectively sometimes, even when we hear somebody, we selectively accept other things. I think, okay, you know, they say all kinds of things, but you don't take everything, you know. So this part is okay, other part is not okay. So we do that. So very often when we listen to somebody We may not accept everything that the person says as acceptable to us. Sometimes we selectively accept as authentic what the person says and not as authentic what some other thing that he says. I think this person has this problem here, about this thing. And so when he talks about XYZ thing, he doesn't mean that, or we don't have to accept it. When he talks about this, yes, we believe that he knows what he's talking about. When he talks about something else, I think he doesn't have that clarity. So sometimes we do that. Did Indra also do? Indra did not do that. Because Indra went back with all his devotion and therefore he accepts Prajapati in totality. That being the case, he cannot have an exception that no, this part, this Swapnatma is a mortal being, even though Prajapati is immortal, he could not have thought that. Again the Tikakara says, Kincha tasya paramathatah hanan abhidaram yom swapne hastinam adraksham soham jagarmeti pratyabhijnanatah indrasya viruddham swapnikasya nashe tad anupatte. See, swapna is very clear here. Yes, swapne mahyamanas charati. When Prajapati said, Shakshini Purusha, is not clear what is meant by the Purusha in the eye. When Prajapati says the one that is experiencing dream is very clear. And Indra also is experience of dream. So he knows what dream self is. Or at least he thinks he knows what dream self is. And therefore, Yoham Swapne Hastinam Adraksham. When you wake up in the morning, you recollect this. I who saw an elephant in the dream is the one who is awake now. Meaning that dream self is the same self that I am. We have a continuity. Hey, I met you in Swamiji, you came in my dream last night, So I who saw the Swami in a dream last night am the one who is talking to Swami now. So dreamer and talker are one. Otherwise this person could not have recollected that Swamiji, I saw in my dream last night. So there is a clarity here that the one who saw the dream is the one who is awake now and talking to Swamiji. Thus this much everybody knows. Indra also knows that I who saw an elephant in the dream last night is the one who is awake now. Meaning that the dream self continues to exist in the waking also. In the dream you do not know that the one who was awake is dreaming. That you do not know. But when you wake up, you suddenly know that the one who was dreaming is the one who is awake. That's interesting. And therefore, that the dream self continues in the waking is very clear, So, in pratyabhijna, this is called pratyabhijna, recognition. I recognize myself as the one who was dreaming last night. Recognition. So when you recognize the same part, same one that was yesterday, that is the recognition. To see it as a part is perception. Same part as yesterday, even part also is recognition, but still, to recognize, why I met you 10 years ago, that's a recognition. So memory of 10 years ago and pratyaksha perception now. So recognition is result of the memory and perception. So when we recognize that I who experienced dream last night is the one that is awake now, there is memory of what I experienced last night and perception of where I am right now. So pratyabhijnanatah indrasya viruddham swapnikasya nashe tad anupatte. So even though Indra knows that the same dream self is here, and still to believe that the dream self gets killed would be even contradicting his own experience. So for Indra to say that the dream self gets killed, number one would contradict Prajapati's words and also would contradict his own experience. Therefore, Indra could not have meant, even though he used the words Gananti tu eva, he does get killed, he did not mean evakara, he should only meant evakara. So that is why before you change like this, there must be justification. Of course, Bhashyakara gave one justification. The other vichayate eva. In other cases, evakara is there, so it's quite proper that this simply evakara here. But there was a possibility that evakara could be there in the primary sense, therefore those possibilities were explored. That there is a possibility that maybe he does get killed. And so those were explored, and now those possibilities also have been resolved that no, it cannot be. Therefore says again Tikakar, Ataha Amrutadi dharmake drashtari pratitikam hananadidosham pashyatah tad nirakarana bhuvutsayava tathavi dosha vishkaranam indrasya. Ataha eva, therefore indeed, Ataha Amrutadi dharmake drashtari pratitikam hananadidosham pashyatah. That Swapna Drashta is immortal. It's Amrutam, Abhayam. Swapna Drashta is immortal, fearless, Brahman. So that is what Indra has heard, and that's why Indra accepts. Tasmin pratitikam hananadosham pashyatah. But Indra sees that sometimes we feel that we are being killed. So sometimes we are being attacked, we are being chased, and I am killed also. I feel that I am getting killed. That's called pratitikam dosham. So that we do experience this in the dream about the self. About the dream self, we do experience roditiva. He is weeping, he is happy, unhappy. That self cannot be amritam abhayam brahman. The dream self, as I understand, cannot be what Prajapati says about the dream self. Prajapati said the dream self is immortal, fearless, Brahman. And how I understand dream self? Vichhadayativa, he is being chased away. Roditiva, he is weeping. Apriyavetaya bhavati, he experiences unpleasant things. So this is my understanding of dream self. Whereas Prajapati says the dreamer is immortal, fearless, Brahman. So this is where Shraddha comes. Where there is a different perception of what the teacher says and what I experience, or what I believe, or what I think. Here, Indra accepts that my understanding is wrong. That I understand dream self is one who is subject to all kinds of afflictions. But if the dream self as Prajapati is immortal, then he cannot be going through all the afflictions. Therefore, pratitikam hananadosham pashyatah. Indra, who sees this Hananadi dosham, the various defects such as being killed or being chased, pratitikam, which are perceived in the dream, the nirakarana bhutsayava. How can the dream self be immortal? The teacher says immortal. I find him happy and happy. So the nirakarana. So maybe this is not right. Even though my feeling is that dream self does get attacked, does get chased, does experience unpleasant, does weep, that cannot be so because dream self is supposed to be immortal from what the teacher said. So in some way my conclusion is not right about the dream self. So in what way is it not right? Tad nirakarana bubhutsaya eva. So that dosha, the defect that he saw in the dream self, he wanted to eliminate those doshas. He would understand the dream self correctly, free from those doshas. So he finds dream self with dosha. Prajapati said is nirdosha. Then nirakaranaya. How can these doshas be removed, eliminated? So what should be the true understanding of dream self which is free from all this dosha? Bhubutsayava, with the desire to know that my understanding of dream self is not right. So therefore, he came back with a desire for the true understanding of the dream self. Tatha doshaviskar, tatha veda doshaviskar indrasya. Indra found fault, not in what Prajapati said, in what he understood. So when Indra declares a fault, Sunasya vadena hanyate, etc., etc., vichhadayati eva, granti eva. Indra is finding fault, not in what Prajapati said. Indra is finding fault in what he understands. And so he comes back that this is not right, my understanding is not right. So what's the right understanding? Please tell me what is the true nature of the self. Ataheva Bhaktavi Taddoshrayidam Suptisthanam Vakshari. So Indra found fault with Chayatma. Then Prajapati told him about Atma, Swapna Atma, who is free from those dosha of Chayatma. That what is Chayatma? If this body is decked with ornaments, then that self also becomes decked with ornaments. If this body is well dressed, the self also is well dressed. If this one is blind, that one also is blind. All the different faults were seen with Chayatma or Indra's understanding of Atma. So Indra's understanding of Atma was full of all these faults. So he came back. How can Atma have this fault? It cannot be, because he can't be immortal. Then knowing that Atma cannot bring me the attainment of all the worlds. Therefore Prajapati told him about Atma, Swapna Atma, who is free from all those faults. That if this body becomes blind, that doesn't become blind. If this one is having running nose, that does not have. If this one gets killed, that one doesn't get killed. So now Prajapati says about Atma that it's free from all the doshas. So he talks about Swapnatma. Then Indra has now discovered some of the faults with Swapnatma. So now Prajapati will talk about an Atma who is free from all these faults that Indra has found. You understand? That's how it's proceeding. Tata eva vaktavi tad doshahidam suptisthanam vakshati iti. That Vakta means Prajapati now will tell Indra about the Suptatma, who is free from all the doshas of the Swapnatma, which Indra has found. Iti na kinchit avadyamiti. Therefore, there is no fault. There is no avadyam, no dosha, no fault, nothing very censurable here in this what Prajapati says or what Indra has done. Avadyam, it is na avadyam, it's nirdosham. Just, there is nothing contradictory, nothing censurable, nothing criticizable here. Alright, so now we can go back to Bhashya. On the 10th line. Tatha vichhadayanti iva vidravayanti iva tatha cha putradi maranimittam apriyaveta iva bhavati apicha swayamapi rodidi iva. Tatha, in a similar manner. Not gnanti eva, but gnanti eva. Tatha means similarly, as though is get killed, vichhadanti iva, vidravanti iva, as though he's being chased by somebody. Tathacha, so apriyavetta iva bhavati, becomes a knower of unpleasant things. Putradi maranimittam. The dream also, poor fellow experiences, my son died and becomes very unhappy. So he becomes a knower of unpleasant things in the dream also. Apija Swami roditi. So earlier, what was done to him was described. Somebody is killing me, somebody is chasing me, or now, Swami roditi. Now he himself finds himself weeping, crying. Even. So putradi maran nimittam aprevetaiva bhavati. Says Tikakara line 35, maran nimittam is kriya visheshanam. So putradi maran nimittam. For the reason of putradi aprevettai bhavati. So because of putradi nimittam bhavati. So the putradi maran nimittam qualifies bhavati. Rather than it is apriyam. So apriyata is not putradi. So putradi mara nimittam apriyaveteva bhavati. So he becomes the knower of unpleasant things on account of the death of son, etc. Tatra mrutatva virodhat. Kriya, that's one thing. Then tatra mrutatva virodhat hanadadehe avastutvepi vedarodan kartrutvam satyamevastu bhadaka bhavat. One further question. All right. That Indra said that the dream self as though gets killed because, so you interpreted evakara as ivakara because marana nimitta mrutatva virodhat. In that case, that dream self become mortal. And that would contradict amrutam, therefore it is not right. So we understand that granthi eva should be interpreted as granthi eva. So hananade avastutvepi. Hananam or killing of the dream self would contradict immortality, and so it cannot be. But Veda Rodana Kartrutvam. But that the dream self experience unpleasant things, he starts weeping. That can be in the primary sense. Because that dream self can be immortal and still fellow can weep. Because what is immortal? One who does not die. That's all. But even if he does not die, he can be miserable anyway. He can still be weeping. So Veda Rodana Kartrutvam Aprevetta eva bhavati, so that he becomes the knower of unpleasant things. Roditi eva, that he weeps or cries. Why can't they be in primary? Why do you say eva there? So the Granthi eva you turn into Granthi eva. So why not apriyavetta eva bhavati? Roditi eva. So why not the eva be turned into evakara in these cases? Why can it not be in a primary sense that the dream self can really weep and can know unpleasant things? So satyamevastu bhadaka bhavat. So the rodana vedana can be real because no bhadaka. Meaning there is nothing to in fact deny that. There was a bhadaka. To believe that the dream self gets killed, what denied that? Then he can't be immortal. So immortality denied the death of the dream self. But immortality doesn't deny his Veda Rodana Kartrutvam. So why not Veda Rodana Kartrutvam be in a primary sense? Just a question. Ataha ivakara anupatti. So roditi iva apriyavetta eva, instead of that, it should be apriyavetta eva bhavati, roditi eva, vichhadanti eva. Why not? It is shankate. So just eliminate all possibilities. In short, to get a clarity about the dream self, because then we'll go to the deep sleep self. So getting clarity about the waking self, getting clarity about dream self, whatever possible questions can arise in understanding dream self are being explored here to get a clarity about what the dream self is. So Nano, the 11th line in the Bhashya that Nano is raised here. Nano apriyam vetta eva katham vetta eva iti uchyate. Nano apriyam vetta eva. Why don't we say that he indeed experiences unpleasant things? Then why does Shruti say apriyam vetta eva? He as though experiences unpleasant things. Why? Why not a dreamer really experience unpleasant things really? So, why should that not be real? The Hananam may not be real. It may be notional. But this weeping and being unpleasant, why can it not, that also not be real? So says the Tika, line 36, Shrutehe anidishankyatvat shrauta eva karana eva tasya mushatvam siddhyati dushayati. Shruta eva karana. Shrauta eva karana eva. So Shrutehe anidishankyatvat. Here the Shruti is pramanam. So anidishankyatvat, one cannot question what the Shruti says. They say, therefore, Shrauta iva karaneva tasya mrushatvam siddhyati. And Shruti says, vichchadayanti iva roditi iva apriyaveta iva bhavati. So Shruti clearly used iva, therefore, it is iva. You no reason to change it to eva when Shruti says as though. On what basis would you say, why not? It is true. And we don't have any authority or other experience to say that. What knowledge do we have to contradict what the Shruti says? If what the Shruti says contradicts our experience or understanding, then we would explore whether we should change our understanding or we should change the Shruti. As that evakara is changed to evakara. But here it is evakara, as though he weeps, as though he is a knower of unpleasant things. So, on what basis would we say, no, he really weeps? On what basis? Just like that. Why cannot know? Why should it be? Question is, why can it not be that he really weeps? Or question is, why do you think that he really weeps? So, what was the reason? He is Bhadaka Bhavat. He is immortal fellow also can weep. But why should immortal fellow weep also? So, there is no sadhakam also. If there is no bhadakam for evakara, there is no sadhakam also for evakara. Therefore, then we go with Shruti. Therefore, Shrutehe anisang. If there is no reason to interpret Shruti in a different way, then there is no reason to arbitrarily change the meaning. You follow? Should not arbitrarily say, no, evakara is evakara. You should have some valid reason. So we had a valid reason to change evakara and evakara, which we presented. You do have a valid reason to say that eva must be eva, roditi eva, ais roditi eva, not roditi eva. Why? Why can it not be? Why should it be? So why can it not be that he really weeps? So we say, why should it be that he really weeps? So we don't have a ground to determine either of them. Therefore, we accept what Shruti says. Therefore, Shrutehe anidishankyatvat. You should not doubt Shruti. You want to understand what Shruti says, not doubting. So all the analysis that we carry out is to understand what the Shruti Vakya says and not question what the Shruti Vakya says. So, anidishankyatvat Shrauta iva karana eva. Therefore, we see no reason to change that evakara into evakara. So, tasya mrushatvam siddhyate. And Shruti says, as though unpleasant vetta, as though weeping, as though, etc. Therefore, that as though shows that there is no real weeping there. There is no real unpleasantness there. There is no real death there. There is nothing real there in the dream. So Bhashyakara says, Na amrita abhayatva vachana anupattehe. Na. Again Tikakara says, Kartrutve vikarapattehe amrutatva uktihi api tasya bhadaka idyaha. In fact, evakara, there is bhadaka. What is it? Kartrutve vikar apattehe. If apriyavetta eva bhavati, if he is the knower of unpleasant things, if he is knower in a primary sense, the knower is a changing entity. Because knower of pleasant things, knower of unpleasant things, as the object of knowledge changes, the knower also will change. So knower, doer, hearer, all kartas are all changing. A speaker also changes. As what he speaks changes, the speaker also changes. The hearer, when the kartrutvam comes, speaker, hearer, thinker. So that is the agent of the act of thinking, hearing. The agent is always subject to change. Depending on what action is performed, the agent of action changes. When you change, that means you are mortal, perishable. So changing would contradict immortality. Therefore, tasya bhadikayati. In fact, for changing the ivakara to evakara, this is bhadakam. What is it? That amrutatva is bhadakam. Kartrutve vikarapattehe amrutatva uktehi tasya bhadika. So if you accept that he really weeps, that means he is changing. He is mortal. He is perishable. In that case, that would contradict the statement that he is immortal. So in order for the dream self to be immortal, he cannot be really weeping. He cannot be really unhappy. He cannot be really killed. He cannot be really, these things cannot happen because he is supposed to be immortal. That is, all of these are notions arising from some reason. So that is how the Viveka is taking place, that we are eliminating identification one by one. But identification, the dream, the subtle body still remains. There was a notion that I am weeping and this is happening to me, that's happening to me. Just as in waking state, the identification of the dream, the gross body makes me feel that I am dying, I am getting old, I am injured, I am blind. So these notions are entertained. All of these contradict the immortality. Amrutam, Abhayam, Brahma. All these conclusions on my part contradict. So then why do I think like this? We'll tell you why you think so. Because of identification with the gross body. Then why does this fellow think like this and dream that I am being killed and then I am weeping, and why does he think that way? Because of identification with the subtle body. So identification of upadhis, upadhika, all of this happens at upadhi level, which you take, that will be explained here. But anyway, so amrutatva uktevi tasya bhadika. Number one, there is no valid reason to change the ivakara to evakara. And number two, if you do that, it will contradict the statement of Prajapati that the dream self is immortal, fearless. So Vashyaka says, na amruta abhayatva vachana anupattehe. He is really dreaming, really weeping, is really the knower of unpleasant thing, is really the agent of his various actions, then he is constantly changing. In that case, he is subject to death, he is perishable. In that case, he cannot be immortal, in which case it will contradict what Prajapati said, Amrutam Abhayam. And Abhayam, I am being chased, so there is fear. I am being killed, there is fear. That those things cannot be real if Abhayam is the nature of the self. So going to Anandagiri, Iva Shabdam Akshipati, line 19 said, see, Nanu iti, so Vetrutvam Vikarasched Amrutatvam Nasyat. Similarly, Anandagiri says, Vetrutvam Vikarasched Apreveta Eva Bhavati. So Vetrutvam, the knowerness is there. If it is Vikara, then Amrutatvam Nasyat. If he is a really knower of unpleasant things, he cannot be immortal. Mrudadivat Vinashitva Prasangat. He will be like a pot. So, Mrudadivat Vinashitva Prasangat. So, like a clay that undergoes change, becomes pot or something else. So, anything that is changing is perishable. That's the rule. Anything that is vikari is also perishable, and then, or so nashvaram. And so, just like clay, which undergoes change to become a pot, and clay is perishable. So if Atma also undergoes change, like becomes now a knower, then it becomes a weeper, then it becomes a runner, whatever. In that case, he is also changing. He is like clay. So clay is perishable, this fellow also becomes perishable. Tasmad Iva Shabda Yukta. Therefore, Iva Shabda Yukta, Iva, word Iva is quite appropriate. But Uchyate. So Anandagiri thinks that, see in the line, 11th line of Bhashya, according to Anandagiri, Uchyate goes into the reply of Bhashyakara. So Katham Veta Iva iti, up to that the Purvapaksha is there, question is there, Uchya is answer. Or according to other Tikakara, Dusedi na iti, so na amrutatva. That seems to be better to me. Katham Veta eva iti Uchyate? It's a question. Na. Cannot be. So, Veta eva amrutatva abhayatva vachanat. Anyway. And the Tikakara says, Shrutyantare buddhi kartatvasya atmani aropitatva uktyavi tasya mushatvam ityaha. Shrutyantare in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, buddhi kartatvasya atmani aropitatva uktyavi. Buddhi kartatvasya. So buddhi does various things. The kartrutva or the doership is primarily in the buddhi or in the mind and the upadhi. And we habitually superimpose what the buddhi does upon ourselves. So, Atmani aropitatva uktyapi. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad clearly says that our notions, so says, next one, let us read that sentence. Dhyayate iva iti cha shrutyantara. So Brihadaranyaka Dhyayativa, Lelayativa, Bhashyakara has found this, and so you find that being quoted everywhere. Dhyayativa, Lelayativa. He as though meditates, or as though thinks, Lelayati, as though becomes disturbed, or Lelayati, as though moves, as though thinks, as though moves. Meaning that the thinking and being disturbed is not real, it is a notion. So thinking about Atma is dismissed by Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, saying as though things, meaning that his notion that I am thinking is not right. The notion that I am being disturbed is not right. So thinking is because of the Jnanendriya, and the Lelayanam is because of the Karmendriya, and so it is superimposing those ideas. So Kartrutva belongs to Upadhi, superimposing upon the self, and then one thinks that I am thinking, I am meditating, I am being disturbed. So Shruti says that's not right. Atma does not think. Atma doesn't get disturbed. Atma does not move. So Shrutyantare buddhi kartatvasya atmani aropitatva uktyapi. So this Shruti says that the dhyanam, which is buddhi kartrukam, which is in fact done by the buddhi, is habitually superimposed upon the self, and person thinks that I am thinking. So by saying dhyayati eva, Shruti says that, hey, you are superimposing upon yourself what is done by buddhi. Understand that dhyana is done by buddhi, not by the self. So when you say that I am meditating or I am thinking, understand that you are committing a mistake. What's a mistake? What is in fact done by the buddhi, you are superimposing upon yourself and then concluding that you are thinking. So buddhi kartatvasya atmani aropitatva uktya. That is how Shruti tells us that aropa is taking place, adhyaropa is taking place. That Atma does not think, and you think that I am thinking. That means that you are superimposing upon yourself what the buddhi does, because buddhi does the act of thinking. And you say, I am thinking. That means that you superimpose upon the self the kartrutva of the buddhi. So even though all that Upanishad says dhyayati eva, but this is what it says. When it says dhyayati eva, Atma as though thinks. In those words, what Upanishad means that Atma in reality does not think. But then when I say that I am thinking, then what are you doing? You are superimposing the doership of the buddhi upon yourself. So that is what is conveyed there. In the Ivakara, that is being conveyed. So that's why the Tikakara said, Buddhi kartrutvasya atmani aropitvata uktya. That dhyanam which is buddhi karta, done by buddhi, is superimposed by Atma, is what the Upanishad means by the Ivakara. Tasya mrishatvam. Therefore, thinking is, so the only dhyayati eva bhashyakara quotes, not lelayati, because aprevetta eva bhavati. So here the question is, does he really become the knower of the unpleasant things? No. The knowing is the act of buddhi, which Upanishad says dhyayati eva. So thinking is the act of buddhi, so knowing also is the act of buddhi, and by superimposing upon ourselves, we wrongly think that I am a knower, I am a thinker. Okay, we'll continue. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad-vyapta dehaya Dakshinamurtaye namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo namaha. Hari Om.